Hello, and many thanks for joining me on this edition of The Verdict. Wow, it's been such a long time that you've seen me on this channel. Never mind, nothing has gone wrong with your person. It's just that, we had to take a break to do some other activities. I've been involved in some projects actually, but it's good to be back on The Verdict as we go along with political terrain in Nigeria. 2019 is just around the corner. Wow, I missed a whole lot, especially during the primary periods of all the major political parties in the country. And like I did predict, back then that Nigeria will gradually come into more or less like a two-horse race in the run-up to the 2019 election. And that's exactly what we're beginning to see. That's not to discountenance some other political platforms which are doing marvelously well. In fact, going around the country, because I've been, traversing the length and breadth of the country in the last, 1.5 to 2 months, and I've seen a whole lot. Some candidates are really very serious. In fact, I told myself that there's a young man who I think is extremely serious about the presidency, and that's talking about Omoyele Sowore. It's not just talking about this thing online, it's taking it offline and is really doing great. But that notwithstanding, there are two major political juggernauts as we go into 2019, and that's talking about the incumbent president of the country, President Muhammadu Buhari, and this man, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. Well, you want to say articulate. I don't know whether I'm very articulate, but I know that in the real sense of Atiku, whoever coined that word for Atiku, I've done a very good job of it. The man is articulating. Well, we saw how well he articulated during the primaries, and now we're going into general election, which is a very serious matter, and the APC is not also taking it easy. Now, we must agree on something. I know that the All Progressives Congress was visibly shaken by the emergence of Atiku Abubakar. Well, for those of you who are APC supporters, you may not want to agree with me, but I monitored the media and I saw the way the APC was moving, was pushing back at Atiku Abubakar. And well, in some areas, you might want to describe it as the initial gragra. Atiku Abubakar's people were also pumping in the media, and everybody was like, oh my God, this is going to give President Muhammadu Buhari a run for his money in 2019. Now, one thing is very clear. Atiku looks very good with the southeast of Nigeria. And go back to an earlier edition of my show, I told you about this, that Atiku will most likely have a block vote in the southeast. That's not to say that the APC, that's President Muhammadu Buhari, will not have some votes there. In fact, from what I've been monitoring, President Muhammadu Buhari will most likely do better than he did in 2015 election in the southeast, because I know that they're working very hard in that area. Also in the south region, it will, it will make a good showing. But then that place can easily be said, as of today, the 24 hours is too long in politics to determine anything. As of today, that area will most likely go the way of Atiku Abubakar. But that's not the subject for today. The subject for today is the emergence, the resurfacing of this man that everybody was talking about some time ago, that he was incarcerated by the military, he was arrested, and he was arbitrarily taken away from his home and all of that. There were so many issues around him, and that's talking about Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of Ipob. The man has suddenly surfaced. The man has shown up far away in Israel, putting paid to all of the postulations, writings, and all of that. Oh, President Muhammadu Buhari has taken him, the military has taken him into custody, we don't know where Nnamdi Kanu is, and all of that. Now, I did a short documentary at that point in time, describing this man as someone you do not want to trust. I know how many of you came after me, after I released that, 5-minute documentary. You can still, Google it. It's still on AN24. And I gave my reasons for saying this is not somebody you want to trust. Not for anything. I don't care. If there is a Biafra, let there be a Biafra. If there is an Oduduwa Republic, so be it. And if there is Arewa, let there be Arewa. Of course, I preach oneness of Nigeria, the indivisible nature of the country. The unity of the country is what I preach. But then, if the people say this is the way they want to go, who am I to say don't go that way? But one thing about it is that you must not go about whatever you're going through in a violent manner. When somebody begins to preach violence in any form, I will not support such a person. And that's the reason why I didn't support the young man, at that time. Now, how will Atiku Abubakar, just, recently, some northern groups who were initially backing Atiku Abubakar have said he must denounce Nnamdi Kanu if he wants to enjoy their continued support. Will Atiku Abubakar be willing to do that? How will he deal with the issue of Nnamdi Kanu, the IPOB? And don't also forget that IPOB had always been saying that there wouldn't be election in the southeast of Nigeria. In fact, several times they've called for boycott of elections. No, will this not affect the electoral fortune of Atiku Abubakar as we go into 2019 election? Considering the fact that President Muhammadu Buhari still retains those areas that I told you about in one of my analyses. We're talking about northwest of the country. Even the northeast of the country, it was going to be a battle royale between him and Atiku Abubakar. Now, southwest, some people are arguing that, well, because of the predominance of APC in southwest, it does not really matter that the southwest is sophisticated. They will vote for the individual and not vote for party and all of that. Well, all of that is still a matter of conjecture. We are yet to know as we go into 2019. And don't forget what I said, that 24 hours is too long to determine anything in a political game. Anything can still change. But the question is this: how do you think that Alhaji Atiku Abubakar will deal with the southeast voters vis-a-vis the IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu? This man is very strong. He wields enormous powers in that area, in that region. And he has begun to talk. He's talking. And he says he's going to return to the country. So how will he deal with it? So what will Atiku Abubakar do? And not minding the fact that his vice presidential candidate, a very fantastic man, the former governor, Dr. Peter Obi, is someone who is loved by many, someone who many believe that has that intellectual acumen. Well, some people are saying that he doesn't have political sagacity. Well, I don't want to believe that. A two-time governor, you are saying that he doesn't have political sagacity. If he's going to have that, he won 2 times and as a state governor. He has it. Yeah, some people, some leaders of the Southeast are saying the manner in which Atiku Abubakar announced him and all of that. It doesn't matter. This man is already the vice presidential candidate, and all they need to do is rally around him because he's one of them, because he is from the Southeast and all of that. So you don't want him to leave, Peter Obi and say, okay, because you people are not in agreement with it, I'm going to go, to another region to pick my vice presidential candidate. Now, how will both Atiku Abubakar and Dr. Peter Obi deal with the rising profile of Nnamdi Kanu now that we are going into 2019 general election? Well, talk to me. Give him advice. You never know the quality of people that are watching this program. You never know whether your suggestion or what you've advised, what you are going to advise here, is what they will do as we go into the presidential race come 2019. I'm going to leave it here to come back some other time with another edition of The Verdict. How will Atiku Abubakar deal with the issue of Nnamdi Kanu in the southeast of Nigeria? Bye for now.